So I guess my question to you once again, Isabel, is when will this madness stop? The Home Office, to be fair, is always trying to deport these people. This isn't a story that's critical of, for once, of our awful Home Office. They're doing the right thing. They're trying to. They tried to deport both of the paedophiles I talked about. They tried to talk about the guy who stabbed and killed a guy in Manchester. They tried to deport this guy Antonio Montero, who an immigration judge decided was a serious threat to the fundamental interests of British society. But this decision has been overturned by judges who say that he can stay because he's lived here for so long, for more than 10 years. These are actually pre-Brexit rules. Why don't we just kick these people out? It's just ridiculous.
I mean, as you say, the Home Office has been trying. What clearly needs to happen here is change the law that prevents this from happening. I mean, how hard can it be? Other countries don't have this problem. If you do something heinous that is clearly not in the interests of the country that has welcomed you, then you get kicked out. They don't care whether it's 1 year you've been there or 5 years or 20 years. That's it. You're no longer allowed to be there. I mean, one of the problems that we have is that we are far too liberal in giving people British passports. So you only have to, I think it's 5 years before you can actually become a British citizen. I think if we changed that system and had a different category of people that were not British citizens, even if they've been in the UK for a long time, and plenty of other countries have a very good system along those lines, then perhaps we could make it easier to get rid of the people that we don't want, who are not serving as valuable members of our community and are doing quite the opposite if they're drug dealers or violent criminals and so on. This takes leadership and it takes real political will. Change the law, change the system, stop it happening.
Also, I think what we need is more sensible judges. In the end, these people are allowed to say, this guy Antonio Montero, as I say, found by an immigration judge to be a serious threat to the interests of this country. A subsequent appeal court judge said, oh, no, under the rules we can't really deport him. Same for this guy, William George. He's the guy who could not be deported to his native Belgium. He was convicted of the manslaughter of a teenage boy, stabbed in the neck and run over in front of horrified rush hour commuters in Manchester. We covered the story yesterday of a father or a guy, a paedophile in Glasgow, who can't be deported because he has a right to a family life. That's our friends at the European Court of Human Rights. He has a right to a family life. Part of his family is the underage stepdaughter who he raped. We did a similar story about a month ago, an Indian national who was living here as a migrant. He was a prolific paedophile, collector of pictures, active paedophile. He had 2 children and therefore, as a father, was allowed to stay here because of his right to a family life. I mean, it's the judges that we have to pull into line. Stop being so ridiculous.
I mean, this is absolutely insane, isn't it? You know, any father that is a convicted paedophile, in my view, should have no access to their children. I mean, sure, maybe when their children are grown up, you know, you can restore access, but a paedophile is a danger to children. Yeah. It's very simple, isn't it? And I mean, this stuff shouldn't be so complicated, should it? And the role of judges is an interesting one because, of course, the law is the law, but there are different interpretations of the law. And in America, they get around this by having political judges of being as political appointees. Our system is rather different, and judges are supposed to be neutral. But it has long become apparent that our judges are sort of institutionally left-leaning, I would say. I mean, we've seen that over many years now, haven't we?
Absolutely. They're all Guardian readers. I mean, they really are. And, of course, our entire political system, our entire establishment has swiveled. You know, it used to be right-wing. It used to be, you know, Tories and golf club members and people with right of centre opinions, but the establishment now is left-wing. Tony Blair kind of did that. So the judges, politicians all proceed in a leftwards direction. They all want to signal their virtue, and the country is going down the pan as a result. I want to hear what the audience think of this. Let me know. I mean, this insanity we're talking about, these monsters that are allowed to stay by the European Court of Human Rights, got a right to a family life. They're paedophiles. They can't be. They shouldn't be anywhere near any family, including their own. These guys, these violent criminals, drug dealers, they do 5 years, they come out, we try and kick them out. Some judge says, no, they've been here for 10 years, they're allowed to stay. What about us? What about the safety of the people in this country? This is wrong. This is just wrong. 03444991000.